guys, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and today we're going to show you a lot of balls. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out really quick, first and foremost, to camera guy Kurt, and the reason is because to do the video the way we're going to do it, which instead of having to watch me open 1,000 tubs, or okay, not 1,000, and see all that, we're just going to put him up here, which means this guy's going to have to edit like crazy. So make sure when you get a chance after you hit like, go there and make a comment for Kurt if you like what he did to get it to show. He's also had to coach me on how to talk so I can make it where he can actually do that. Before we start showing these snakes, we got a little housekeeping to take care of. Kind of like you notice we did some housekeeping in here, my spring cleaning. We have a few people from Patreon I got to give a quick shout out to. So I want to say a big thanks to Denise Clark and Chris Dinkins. They have been Aries level subscribers now for 6 months or longer. They're getting that free t-shirt. Pretty awesome. And we also have some Apollo level subscribers who have also earned that free t-shirt. That's Derek Allen, Nick Lovera, and Chris Dink. I'm sorry, I already said Chris Dinkins, didn't I? It's Derek Allen and Nick Lovera. So we've got 4 people who have earned that t-shirt. That's pretty awesome. And I want to say thank you to all of you guys so much for supporting us. It means a lot. All right, on to show some snakes. So, what Kurt's told me I have to do to make this work is I have to shut up now, grab a snake, we'll put a snake here, and then I can start talking again. So, it'll all seem really quick for you, but believe me, it's actually really hard for me to do. First up is our GHI male, which GHI stands for Gotta Have It. I really like this guy, would love to talk more about him, but since this is kind of a tour, we're not going to get really in-depth about any one morph. That being said, if you see a certain snake that you really like, that you want us to really do a video on and just talk about it specifically, we're very open to that. I love these guys. We're going to make more of them. This here is a little queen bee female, which would be a lesser pastel spider. It is in shed currently. It's looking pretty terrible. This one gave us a few problems when we first got it back, as far as just being a little shy to eat in a new environment. It had a little bit of stuck shed we had to deal with. It's overcame all that. It's now shedding good, eating good, putting weight on. Really excited about this little snake. Just pretty, especially when they shed out. This is a Mystic Potion. This is a little male. This guy's a chunky little monkey. He's doing really wonderful. I didn't produce this one. This is one of the babies that came into our collection from elsewhere. This was produced by Tallgrass Reptiles. If you're not familiar with Mystic Potion, it is a combination of 2 separate genes, one being Mystic, obviously, and the other being Mojave. They are allelic, so they're going to pass on, whenever you breed this, one of those 2 genes. We'll do an entire video about some allelic combos here coming up. Alright guys, now we're getting some of our adults. This is our male clown, Trouser. He got named Trouser because you can see he's got one eye on that side. On this side he doesn't. It was reported to be caused by an incubation error, so it's not a genetic issue, just a development issue that he had. He should be able to breed just fine, no problems. You can look very big male, very healthy. The problem is our het clown girls are just not ready yet, but when they get ready, we will be making a lot of clowns using him. And if everything goes as we suspect, then they should all be perfectly healthy. Obviously, if something comes up that would lead me to believe that that is a genetic issue and not just a development issue when he's in the egg, he would be immediately retired from being a breeder. But I don't see that. I know how the production happened and talked with the person who produced it, so I know everything is good to go. All right, thank you. Okay, these are super iconic, and you might see more than one of these before we're done. This is a blue-eyed Leucistic, specifically a super lesser. See how pretty the blue eyes are. They do tend to have a little bit bigger eyes than other ones when they're super lesser, but it's not an issue whatsoever. Beautiful, beautiful snake. Alright, this snake looks a lot like it's a funky pastel, but the fact of the matter is, this is one I produced, and neither parent had pastel. Like, we know neither parent has pastels from our Blitz Male through our Champagne female. I believe, I have to double check, it could have been our Blitz Male. Yeah, it was through our Champagne female. And that Champagne female has never been bred to pastel, so we kept 2 of these snakes that came out looking like this. Really kind of just a funky, funky animal. Just really oddball to have that pairing come out like that. This one is currently also about to shed. You guys just saw this guy. He is our banana black pastel. This is our holdback. There's currently 2 of them. One of them's waiting to be shipped off. So, can't wait to get good weather here. If I was to take you outside, we got like 3 inches of snow. It's killing us. But I love these. You know, I can't wait to put some other genes in there, try to clean up the freckles and just get that purple and that lavender. Beautiful, beautiful animals. Alright, anybody who watches this channel a lot knows this snake. If you're new to the channel, maybe not. He was a firecracker when he was born, but he's really calmed down and gotten kind of used to us a lot. This is Zeus. Zeus is a snake that got me into breeding ball pythons. This is what I always wanted to make, and I finally made it this year, and that is a zebra bee. So he is an SK line exanthic with pastel and spider. And I can tell you that this snake, I plan on using him for a breeder, but let's say he proved to not be able to breed. Say there was a problem with him, he just couldn't breed. He would still be a one I would keep because I always wanted him. He just shed actually a little bit of skin I'm going to have to work on later to get off right there. He didn't get off, but it'll come off pretty easy, just a warm washcloth that's damp. So he is awesome. I just love this guy. Not Kurt's favorite. Kurt likes old Zeus, but Kurt's got some other ones he's in love with. But this one, my favorite snake I've ever made. Alright, here is our male calico named Kratos. Kratos is one we've had for a while. He's a proven breeder of ours. Good size for a male. You can really see the color there and the sides of the calico going to work. I've seen higher whites than him, but very pretty. And calico's a weird gene. It's kind of like pie. Lows can throw highs, highs can throw lows. What I like to find in calicos is ones with really weird, elongated tail patterns. You know, the funkier the tail is, the more I like it on the calico. So I think it'll pass that on. The white's going to be random. Anyway, he's been a good snake for us. Produces good babies, and is a really good breeder. Has no problem breeding anything I put him to. Here we have a little bumblebee. This is also a het for Xanthic. This snake is actually sold. Again, we're just waiting on the weather to clear, and some of them are in payment plans waiting to get paid off. But he is not going to be available to anybody because he has been sold. But I wanted to show him anyway while he's still with us. Really pretty, and he is het for SK Xanthic. This is the last of our banana pinstripes. It's also sold, just waiting on warm weather. Can't wait to send it out. Now don't fret, you're going to see little dots. Think, oh my god, this is my... Nope. Those are spots that bananas get. The pinstripe doesn't seem to have this many, but it does have spots. See, nothing's moving. Really cool. Here's the thing. Our male banana we used to breed was also possible calico. And so I sold these, all of them, as just banana pins. So I'm not so sure on the calico. But when you look at this snake, it almost makes me wonder because you can see how white it is coming up in there. You know? Really neat. And so I almost wonder, maybe the calico was legitly there. Maybe this one's going to end up being a pinstripe calico. Here's the thing. If it is, when they breed it out and it throws calico, because they know it could be, you know, more power to them. I'm glad they got a good deal. But I wasn't going to call it 100% that unless I was 100% sure at the time of sale. Because I'd rather be wrong in my customer's favor than wrong against them, if that makes sense. Not that we won't be wrong, I guess, against them sometimes, because we're going to make mistakes. But if I'm going to make a mistake, I'd rather make a mistake that's in their benefit. Alright guys, this is another edition this year that came by way of Tallgrass Reptiles. And what this is this is a Toffino, which means it's a Toffee bred to an albino. So whenever we breed this to an albino, it should make half albinos, half Toffinos. If we were to save a Toffino female back and breed it to a Toffino, we should get half Toffies. Or not half. We'll get some Toffies, some albinos, and some Toffinos. I think it'd be about half Toffinos, a quarter albinos, and a quarter Toffee. Don't quote me. I'm trying to do that in my brain without thinking about it. Anyway, I really like these. I like them because of the color. You've heard me say that I like banana a lot, but I don't much care for the spots. This is very, very similar in color to what you get on a banana. But look, no spots, right? And then it's got these really kick-ass red eyes. Kurt's like, what are you doing? What are you trying to show? Then he realized red eyes. So I think that's pretty awesome. Makes me think of A Christmas Story. He had red eyes. So anybody that watches that movie, awesome. All right, Kurt, anything you want to add about this little guy?
So that's a recessive gene?
It is. This is a really strange gene because of it being in a complex. So it's an albino complex, which albino is recessive. But this is almost an allelic situation because you breed an albino visual, which is a full recessive, to a Toffee visual, which is a full recessive, and you get 100% Toffinos. So instead of getting, so it's actually heterozygous for albino, and it's heterozygous for Toffee, but together they make a visual, and it's going to pass it on to half of its offspring. So it's, yeah, this is a really strange way it works, and there's a lot of terms together, but basically when you breed it, it's going to act where it's going to pass on one of those two genes. You'll see this again on our allelic video, because there's not a lot of allelic recessives out there, but there is this complex with the albino stuff, so really cool. Alright, another one we're just waiting to ship out, and that is this Calidar male. Calidar is a calico spider combination. They are really neat, because again, when you pick up those crazy tail patterns, you can see what it does, and you can see how high white it is. So it's way higher white than a spider, way cleaner in the sides than a normal spider. And that's that calico influence coming in there. Then you get the wonky tail. It also tends to highlight everything around, get that dirt off of there, the spider pattern. Very, very nice. I really like calidars. We were shooting for calibes, and you can always pick them out because you'll have a place where the white comes up to the black pattern along the back. And that's a dead giveaway because you wouldn't have that high of a white in a normal spider. And then the tail would not be where it's trying to pattern and not able to really do it and all awkward in a normal spider. So very, very cool animal. Okay guys, this is a ratto, and you're thinking, well, that looks like a normal ball python, and you're half right. This is a heterozygous for clown, so it is het clown. This is one of those females we're waiting on to get to size. This is probably the biggest one, so we can start making clowns. We just weighed her. She's coming in right at about 1,100 grams, which means she's probably not going to make it this year. I'm a little conservative. I like to get mine to 1,500. I don't push it. I want to make sure they're healthy. Health is a main concern to me when it comes to this. I don't want to breed snakes that are too small or anything like that. They're stretch out. And so we're really going to have to probably just wait one more season for clowns. There is a chance if she eats good, and she's been eating really well for us, that she might make it late this season and we'll take a shot at it, but I'm not going to hold my breath. If it does, it's a bonus. If not, that's okay. And you're going to get a really close-up of het clown cam. Alright guys, this is Thor. He is our Blitz Male, and I love what that Blitz pattern does there. It is just so cool. He's been breeding this year, doing a wonderful job of it. I thought you were going to go on my shirt for a second there, buddy. We're not quite that close. But Blitz does amazing things. This is Dad to the Shits ball and the Klitz ball, which you'll see one of those later in this video. I just really dig what it does. I can't wait to put some more things. Of course, we're going to put it to back to the Calico this year. We're not putting it back to the Champagne. We're going to go a different route with our Champagnes this year, but we're also putting him to Orange Dream. So I'm really looking forward to see what Blitz Orange Dream can do. That would, I think, could be an amazing combo. I think it's a stepping stone. I think it's going to look good. I think I'm going to bring it back and probably add another cleaning gene to it like Fire, or another brightening gene like Pastel, and a Blitz Orange Dream Pastel I think will be completely out of this world. So that's what we're working towards with this guy right here. Alright, this is one of our 2 Champagne females. This is Eris. She was produced right here in facility. I kept her as a holdback. She was produced from our pairing that was Champagne to Blitz. I don't think she has Blitz in her. She could. Or, sorry, Champagne to Calico. Woo! I'm getting way off. Champagne to Calico. I don't think she has Calico in her. She could, but I don't think she does. The one thing that would lead you to believe she might would be this big ringer on the tail. The problem is, Champagne store ringers anyway. And almost all of her siblings, except for one, had a ringer or a partial ringer. Ooh, you're just going to run. You calming down? You just want to go for a little bit? I'll let you crawl. Anyway, she's one I really like. She's not Kurt's favorite. She is a very, very pretty snake. I like the Champagne. I like the almost deep bruise color it has in it. I think they're gorgeous, but I'm kind of in the minority on that, I've learned. That's okay. Like I always say, breed what you like. I like it. I'm going to keep breeding it. So keep making more and keep making interesting combos with them. Champagne you do have to be a little careful with. You can't put it to your spider stuff. It is lethal with spider. You also don't want to put a Champagne back to a Champagne. That's a problem. We'll cover more on that here in a little while. Alright guys, let's go on to the next one. Here is a Pastel Exanthic. This should be an SK line Exanthic Pastel. It was produced by our Pastel Exanthic Male. No, I take that back. This was produced by our Pastel Exanthic Male made a different production. This was produced by our Spider Exanthic Male. You remember I'm doing this all from memory. I keep records, they're all on my computer, but this is completely shot from my brain. Paired to our Pastel our Het Exanthic Female. So this would be a sister to Zeus. And again, it is a visual Exanthic. You can definitely see that, and you can see the pastel influence coming through. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous snake. I didn't release any of these for sale. I kept both Pastel Exanthics we hatched. The reason being is I can take this and then I can bring another male to it, or Zeus to it, which you can do that sib to sib. One generation doesn't bother me. I wouldn't continue to do it past that. But you're going to end up with killer zebra bees. That's the goal there. That's what I really want. I also kept some offspring from another father, which is what I was thinking of. I gave the wrong information there, that I can work towards making some fire bees and some other things that are Exanthic. Really cool stuff. Okay, here's a little holdback we had this year. This is a Super Pastel Lesser Ball Python, and I really like, there's the head. Really cool looking snake, right? I really like this one. I picked her based on the way she looked as a holdback. I sold the rest of the offspring. She did give me a little bit of a fit eating. She ate good, then she kind of went on a little bit of a weird hiatus, and it took me going to mouse hoppers to get her back eating, and now she's pounding food again, so we're back on track. Babies can be a little bit difficult. You are laying so funny. What are you doing? And you can see she's just a little scared to be out right now, so I won't keep her out too long. But I do want you to get a chance to really see her. I love what Pastel and Lesser does together. So when you make it a super pastel, of course, it just increases everything. Now you're starting to relax a little bit. Very pretty snake. Here's one that is in shed. I realized once I pulled it out, but we're going to go ahead and show him to you since I already got him out anyway. And that is going to be an Enchi. Usually the color is a lot brighter through here when he's not in shed. And you can see that the belly's got the pink tinge to it. It's a giveaway. And his eyes are starting to cloud. We are using him as a breeder this year. He's actually a nice example, even though he's really not showing it so much at the moment because of being in shed. But he has been breeding like crazy to our champagne female, so we're expecting some champagne Enchis, which is funny because, see, champagne or Enchi for me is not my favorite. I think it does a lot of cool stuff in combos, but it's not the gene that I get the most excited about. To each your own, right? And champagne for Kurt is like, he says it looks like he got rolled in mud, so he's not a big fan of champagne, and I am. But Kurt loves the Enchi, so it's really odd that, you know, the snake that's one of his favorite and one of his least favorites getting bred, but it's also one of my favorites, one of my least favorite patterns. But when you put those two together with the Enchi influence with the champagne makes a snake that is just insane. So we're both out of this world, you know, about those. So we can't wait to have that pairing come to fruition. Alright guys, here is Zeus's daddy. This is Hades. He is a spider exanthic SK line. This one was produced by Tallgrass Reptiles originally. This was the first visual exanthic, or take that back, the second visual exanthic I produced. Unfortunately, both of them I bought were males, because I really wasn't planning that out very well when I bought my first one. He has been an awesome snake for us, produced great babies. Zeus are two pastel exanthics, a lot of other really pretty offspring that we've held back. Some of our double het stuff he produced. He's getting a break this year. We're not putting him to any females right now because we're using our pastel exanthic male instead of our spider exanthic male. The reason being is we want to make visual exanthics that are possibly super pastel exanthic as opposed to another bumblebee exanthic, so I can breed my bumblebee exanthic to a less related super pastel exanthic to increase my odds of getting that killer bee exanthic. So that's what we're working on this year and why he's getting the year off. But he'll be back at it, trust me, because I love what he produces. Alright guys, speaking of snakes he produces, this is Vulcan. Vulcan is a het true ghost spider. So that means he is het for ghost and also het for exanthic. SK line, Zeus was his daddy. Not from this year, but from the year before, I do believe. One of the last clutches from the year before. So he's one of our youngest from 2016, right? Yep. Yes. And they also were born very, very small. Him and a sister who's also a het for true ghost. We kept both of them as holdbacks. We do want to do some true ghost combos. And his sister, when we show you her later, she is really funky looking. But these guys were born with gram weights in the 20s. They feed wonderful. And you can see he's very attentive and very alert. He would actually eat today even though he's fed 3 days ago. We don't try to overfeed them. Very pretty example of a spider morph. I love what it does. And you can see the difference. He's a low white spider. So you can see, you know, when you look at the calidors versus him, complete difference. But you do see a lot of strange color coming out because of the double hets, and there's a little bit of your wobble. We'll talk more about that in another video. This is our pastel exanthic male. This is who's getting to breed instead of Hades this year. He was produced by Ben Siegel out of Ben Siegel Reptiles in Florida, and so we got him from there. And you can see he's got some good size to him for a male. He breeds really well. He has produced, he has proven. We did use him to make some of the hets earlier we have used. So really, really cool snake. Alright guys, up is Merlin, our mystic male. Merlin bred last year to our Mojave. And they had a good clutch, but they didn't make any mystic potions. What they made was a bunch of mystics and Mojaves. Let me tell you, they're really hard to tell apart when they're young. Mystics tend to have this very dark black. So if you like the dark colors, you can see how dark that is coming through. And you can see the keyhole pattern, which goes with mystic and Mojave and a lot of things in that complex. So really, really cool. He's just going to lay there and look good now. So I really like this snake. There's a slight iridescence to him as well. I mean, nothing like you're going to find on rainbow boas or anything, but you can certainly see it coming through. He's not getting to breed this year because all of our Mystic stuff is getting that GHI male, but we will go back to using him at some point, I'm sure, because Mystic can darken things up. I can envision doing some Mystic bananas, because you know I like to put things that darken with banana, things like that down the road. Alright guys, this is our next snake to show you. This came to us as a super pastel spot nose, but through breeding we're pretty sure it's actually just a pastel spot nose. Now, let me talk about that. Does that mean I should find out who produced it and go call them a bunch of names? I could, some people would. And you know, if I went to them and said, hey, you were wrong on this, it would be in their, I mean, it would be best if they, you know, were to like try to do a partial refund or, you know, try to do something to make it right. But I'm not even going to worry about it because I do believe it was an honest mistake. And I'm going to make those too. We all are. I don't think they were trying to claim that it was something more than what it was. I think they were claiming what they honestly thought it was. It's really nice looking, so it could have been. But it didn't produce all pastels when we bred it. Now we did breed 2 males, so it could be a dual-sired situation. But I don't think it was. You know, and we'll do one more pairing to see for sure. But, again, am I going to either way go get all upset? No, things are going to happen like that, and people are going to make honest mistakes. So, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, like I would hope somebody would give me. That being said, if I was ever wrong, if somebody contacted me and I'd put in years of work and solid proof that I was wrong about something, I would try to find out, A, why I was wrong, B, let them know how the mistake happened, which isn't me trying to get out of taking the blame for it. It's letting them know that I know what the problem was, what caused it, what I saw, so I can correct that so I don't make the same thing in the future. And then also trying to do something to make it, you know, make it right. We guarantee our genetics are what we say they are. So we're going to, you know, then be accountable to that guarantee. And if we're wrong, we're going to have to either, you know, purchase that snake back, or we're going to end up having to, you know, do something to make it correct that we're both agreeable to within reason. So that's kind of how I think that should work in the hobby. We're still happy to have him. He's still a really good breeder. Good snake. Alright guys, here is Question Girl's favorite snake, and that is, his name, yeah, I said his name is Artemis. We just call him Artie. Again, this is the one we purchased from a guy, and it was missexed. He thought it was a female and ends up having penises. Here's the deal. Was it an honest mistake? Absolutely. It was actually one of his holdbacks. And then I often find people who are about to have babies end up selling some snakes because of time. So he found out he was having a new baby, or his wife was, and hopefully it was his. And he decided to, you know, downsize and not keep any more back. So he released the holdbacks he had meant to keep. This was one of them. So I know it was an honest mistake, because why would you, you know, hold back the wrong thing on purpose? You wouldn't. But that's fine, because I've used him for a breeder. He's produced for me. He produced our pieds last year. He's got a little spot on his back. That is actually from breeding. What that is then they rub on each other. So what we'll do is get that. I got my finger a little bit wet here. This is going to be gross, Kurt. I want to show you that cleans off. If I can find, there it is. See? And that's what that is. After you do something really disgusting like that, it's probably in your best interest to disinfect your hands, right? Because I know me, I'm going to lick my fingers again. Anyway, so what that is from breeding, they're going to end up, you know, doing some rubbing on each other and leave some, yeah, gross stuff. So, this is our male pied. I love pied. Pied is still one of my favorites. It's one of those first genes you see when you get into ball pythons, and most people just go, look at that. So it's just an amazing, amazing gene to look at. They don't ever wear out. You know, pieds never get boring. So, love these guys. This is another one that's in shedding, guys. I had to show her to you anyway, because this is just a snake I dearly love. This is our banana female. She was born right here from a male maker, so this is one where we really smoked the odds on it. So I was really excited to hatch her. I probably sexed her 37 times, and she was a girl. You can see she looks great. She is getting some spots. She is blue in the eye. She eats wonderful, and she is about to get a new tub here very, very soon, because she's outgrowing that one. I just love this snake. Let's see if she'll pop for us. You can see that she actually is a female. See? No hemipenes whatsoever. It was amazing to actually get that to hit. So I was so excited. We're going to do so much with her. And the cool thing is when we breed this female, what we'll get is, if I understand it correctly, and it's kind of a mess, so I could be wrong, but we should get normal, like half and half odds. Like it will be a normal sex ratio to males and females. And then the males born from her will be female makers. So we can keep a male from her down the road and use it to put the things we want to make female bananas, have our male bananas already that we used to make male bananas. We can kind of control what we make, which will be really awesome when we want to do things with super bananas or certain combos. So very excited about that. As you can see, she is outgrowing this tub, and she's going to get a new one. Look at that screamer. This is another bell. This is our holdback bell. The other one I showed you is one where actually we produced, but we were watching for somebody who, just due to the situation, couldn't keep their snakes for a while. And we'll have it until they're ready to have them back. But this is one that's staying right here. This is the one that I picked. We hit 4 bells, and this was the one that I said was my favorite. It was also Kurt's favorite. We were in agreement. Let me tell you, you're trying to pick a holdback bell. It's kind of a pain in the ass because they're all white snakes, right? So you're really just looking for small cues like, and this one actually wasn't the whitest, it was the pinkest. But to me that meant it was probably going to be the whitest as it ages, and so far from what I've seen it's been extremely white. You can still see a little bit of pink in its neck if you look really close in certain lights. It's still lightning. So this is just a gorgeous example of what I wanted for a bell. Something else, and it may change with age, there is no yellow stripe like you see on some. Its back is pure white. I wanted a solid white snake, and that is exactly what I got. Okay, speaking of holdback animals, and don't mind me, I'm filling water dishes while I do all this. This was another one we chose to keep, and this is our holdback pied. And the reason we picked her, and remember Artemis I showed you? This is one of his offspring. The reason I picked her over the other pieds, because we actually had a full clutch of pieds, was how banded she was. For me, what I look for in a pied, that perfect pied, isn't the most white. A lot of people want, 80% white, 90% white, or whatever. I could care less about that. I want lots of banding. So the more full bands of white, the more broken up that pattern is, the more I really like it. Everybody looks for smiley faces on their pieds. Look, hi, how you doing? I'm a smiley face pied. So we've got one on her too, and I just think that this snake is an excellent example of what I want in a pied. The other thing I look for is this. And I picked my pieds for breeding for this. Look at the orange. See all that orange in them? I love all the orange. It's going to hold color like that really well, hopefully. I've seen some other ones I've sold that are. Look at that. And it's just an amazing highlighting color, that white. My belief is this, that if I keep the oranges back, and I want this orangey pied, right? I'll tell you, I see that every time. I'm like, oh my god, it's a mite, but it's not. It's just a piece of black pattern, but it scares me every time. If I have the oranges I can have in my pie, then when I start putting things to it like yellow belly, etc., to go for like pumpkin pies and the pies with more orange, I will make crazy examples of it, which is my goal. When you breed, it's not about just putting 2 morphs together. It's about picking, the snake that's best suited example to go with the morph that's the best suited example for what you want to make. We've talked about that in some other videos. It's something I truly believe. It's a little bit of an art form when you go to do that to make what you want. Not just a combo, but the combo to look the way you want. If that makes any sense at all. And here we go, another Pastel Exanthic female. We know we kept 2 of these. You want to kill me, don't you? Don't kill me, I love you. Let's make you calm down there. There you go, Lauren. So anyway, I love these. I know what I can do with them. When I put a super pastel in there and I clean this up and brighten it more, fire and brighten it more, and then spider, I can start working towards that all black and white snake. What I really want is a solid black and white snake carrying that barbed wire pattern that the spiders have. The problem's going to be with super pastel, which would be the killer bee exanthic. You get really close to that, but you kind of bleach out the black. I would like to make one I keep the blacks extremely black as well. So to do that, it's where the fire, and the yellow belly are going to come in that you've seen before and mix with something like this. So it'll be really cool when we get it done. I cannot wait. It's going to be awesome. But you guys know I love exanthic. If there's one gene I tend to focus on more than anything else, it's exanthic, to the point that I have probably more of it than I should. Kurt wants me to also focus on our breeding projects because Kurt has some things he loves on some more clown and some hypo. So you're going to start seeing us keep a lot of clown and hypo stuff back as well as we start getting those to produce. They're coming. All right, guys, let's get to the next one. This is another holdback. The rack I'm going with right now, you're just seeing a lot of the things we kept. But this is a Blitz female, and I wanted the Blitz female so I could go for the Superform Blitzkrieg down the road, or use some of my males to my female, not just the male that I've got, but I can go the other way too. She is an excellent example. The best part about breeding is you get to hand pick what you keep. That is my favorite thing, because I get to keep exactly what I want. And if you look at how crazy her pattern is on both sides, it is just awesome. And here you can see some of the hookings that we talk about with Blitz, where the pattern kind of hooks in on itself. really apparent there, there, you know, there. There's an excellent example. That is textbook what we're looking for right there. We start seeing that, and then the huge keyholes, you probably have a Blitz on your hand. All right, here's another Xanthic holdback. Of course, it's not visual. You can see how yellow it is, but we're not 100% sure the gene's in here. We were hoping that when it first hatched out that it was going to be a Firefly yellow belly, but it may just be a Pastel yellow belly and actually lacking the fire. That would be kind of a bummer, but I'm still okay with it because this snake is so pretty. I love how colorful it is, how deep the color is. It is just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous animal. Let me show you the belly so you can see what we're talking about. You can really see the yellow belly pattern coming through there where it can. And all the digitized right there is a good spot to show. So it's definitely got the yellow belly going through in it, and you can really see it through here. And it's just the color. And yellow belly and pastel definitely work on each other very well, which is why the fire may not be in there. There's a lot of flaming, and the color is extremely nice, so it could be. We're really going to probably have to wait till we breed it to be 100% sure. But that's fine because it's staying right here, and I'm going to breed this thing. And it is 100% het for Xanthics. And that's all SK lines. You guys know that's all I work with. Beautiful snake. Guys, we got some sad news I got to share. Camera guy Kurt has informed me that this video is becoming entirely too damn long. So he said we got to break our room tour into 2 separate videos. We go through snakes, so we're going to have to part ways today, but don't worry, when you come back and see our next video later on, you know, just a few days, it'll be the rest of the room tour. You'll see the rest of our animals. We're going to show you all the ones we keep in here, all over ball pythons anyway. So just bear with us. We did have to end it because we didn't want it to be like an hour long. All right, guys, see you next week.